I spent 2 years after being diagnosed with a stroke in denial as a victim. Didn't want to talk about it, I didn't want to address it, I didn't want to think about it, I ignored it as much as possible, as much as you can with a foot that doesn't work correctly, but I did. At the end of that 2-year period, I decided that I was tired of being a victim and I wanted to be a survivor. And I wanted to do something positive in my life as a result of it. I wanted to make a difference. And that difference to me came in the form of a gentleman I met randomly on a beach in Florida. I had gone on vacation with my 3 boys, and for 3 days in a row, got up and actually ran in the sand, which I hadn't done for years. I went a whole mile and I felt fabulous about doing that. And at the end of 3 days of this running on the beach, I was sitting next to the pool, and this gentleman in his mid-60s with assistance came into the pool and sat down. It was obvious to me he'd suffered a stroke. He looked like it had been about 3 months ago. He could barely walk, had a foot drop brace, couldn't use his hand, couldn't sit down or get up without assistance. So I went over to talk to him and I said, "Hey, what happened to you?" He said, "I suffered a stroke." I said, "I did too, about 4 years ago." He said, "Mine was 7 years ago." And the look that he gave me, I will never forget. It still gives me goosebumps when I think about him, because the emotion, the impact that this stroke had had on his life was so clear. And I spent the whole day thinking about him, thinking about myself, the what ifs, that I was lucky to be alive, why was I still alive? So many things went through my brain on that day. Why am I here? Why did I suffer this? Well, that evening, I checked my email, and here's this random email from the National Stroke Association saying, "We have, for the first time ever, a marathon team to raise money for stroke research. We need a few more people to run this marathon. Do you know anybody who'd be interested?" And I looked up to the sky and I said, "No, God, no. I ran a mile 3 days in a row. I can't run a marathon. I can't do this. This cannot be my mission." But it wouldn't leave me. And a week later, I called the National Stroke Association and said, "I'm sure it's full. I'm sure you don't need anyone else to run a marathon for you." They said, "We'd love to have you." So I did. And 3 months from not being able to run 1 mile, 3 months later, I ran 26.2 and raised almost $5,000 in research money for the Stroke Association.